What is happening, guys? This is a WWE Universe Mode. The Raw vs Smackdown war is back, and it's going to be better than it was in real life, because let's be honest, in real life it wasn't too good. Tag teams will be drafted in, however they will appear on both shows as there's such a lack of tag teams, as well as divas and people with minor show appearances such as Undertaker and Sting will appear throughout the series on both Raw and Smackdown. Anyway, let's get started with Raw's #1 pick. I mean, it's not the most lackluster of picks for Raw, is it? Especially with the #1 pick of my first ever draft. But could have been a hell of a lot worse. Bullhammer's pretty sick. And the League of Nations could be a thing. You have to find out. Anyway, who is SmackDown's first pick? Let's find out!
Remy, sit. Speak.
Well, this is awkward. Before this, I picked a superstar that has to be on Raw, and I picked a superstar that has to be on SmackDown. John Cena is the one who has to be on Raw, which means SmackDown currently don't have any picks. So that leaves Raw with 2 picks, and SmackDown with no one. So this next pick is SmackDown's first. Hopefully it's someone good to rival John Cena. Or not. I mean, recently he's nothing but a host of Miss TV. What he did with Damien Sandow was good, but apart from that, he didn't really do much this year. And I can't see him being too big in the future. Anyway, next pick for Raw. If it isn't Mr. Out of Nowhere himself. His moveset has always been so fun to use in these games, and he's always been good in Universe Mode in the title picture. Anyway, Raw's looking a bit OP. Let's see if the next pick of SmackDown will make that change. SmackDown isn't doing too well at the moment, is it? I mean, The Miz and Fandango aren't exactly the biggest names in the company. They're not terrible. Let's go back to Raw. Who they got? And it's Adam Rose, one of the social outcasts at the moment. They're not brilliant, but they're a hell of a lot better than whatever they were doing. But he's another addition to Raw. And the next pick for SmackDown is... Welcome to SmackDown is Jericho! Yeah, Y2J's on SmackDown now. And that is their first big pick. Cannot wait to use him against Miz and Fandango. Next on Raw.
Feed me more. Feed me more.
Wake up! WWE creative and give him a better character. Thank you very much. End of story. On Raw, who is going to be joining SmackDown with Y2J, Fandango, and The Miz? Stardust. One of the underrated talents joining the SmackDown roster. He'll be a good pick, I think. And will definitely be in the Intercontinental Championship scene. And what a pick for Raw. One of the best champions of recent memory. Even though he was a champion for about 5 minutes before he got injured. But still, will be a great addition to the draft. SmackDown definitely need a good pick to be able to counter that. And that is... the first tag team. Now here's a chance to explain. Basically, the tag teams will be able to compete on both. But they will be representing SmackDown if they ever split up as a team. Such a quality team though. Wouldn't have them split up in a while. Because they split way too early due to the injury to Tyson Kidd. But that's a good addition to SmackDown. Who's the next addition to Raw? Oh, well, their first tag team. also known as the jobbers of the tag team division. I think SmackDown got the better up there on the tag teams. But they will be competing on both shows, but if they ever did split up, which would have no reason to, they would be bad. Anyway, SmackDown's next pick now.
A new day, yes it is.
Oh, it's a new day, yes it is. Now this is the best tag team in the WWE, I think, over the last couple of decades. Well, they're the most entertaining ones anyway, they are brilliant. And yeah, SmackDown definitely have the best tag teams to choose from. Maybe Raw can come back with a huge pick next.
You think you know me?
Oh, and they bloody well do. Oh my god. Yeah, oh, him and John Cena, please rekindle the old rivalry you had. That was my childhood. Oh, I can't wait to use Edge. And his little spear where he just basically hugs them to the floor. But again, that is a massive pick for Raw. They have the better singles competition. Just like in real life. Maybe the next pick could influence that in a different way? Thank the Lord. We have someone else who is world title worthy. The WWE Creative don't seem to think so, well, yet. But I think he could hold the world title. And he's certainly fun to use in this game. However, I don't think it one-ups anything on Raw yet. Speaking of which, here's the next pick. Another return going to Raw. A superstar who I would like to see more on Raw and SmackDown now, but obviously he's doing movies, he doesn't like it anymore from what it seems like. But he's always been fun to watch, even in Guardians of the Galaxy and James Bond, but he's always a wrestler, he was born a wrestler, come on. Batista, please come back. Anyway, SmackDown seriously needs some singles competitors to compete with this. It's an interesting one. Again, he does nothing now but job. Well, to be fair, he does botch quite a few moves recently, but I really like him. I really liked his Hall of Pain character. I hope I'll be able to recreate that. See it clash with people on the roster. Well, no Demon Ambrose. Anyway, back to Raw. And the next pick. Well, if it isn't the big boy himself, Bray Wyatt. Welcome to the roster. Tell you what, I'm going to chuck in the rest of the fellas in with you. Maybe even Strowman, if I can find him on the community creations. Yeah, you know what, Wyatt family, sod it, you can all join Raw. Yeah, that's a pretty good addition, if I do say so myself. Maybe SmackDown could do something to come back at it. That's not bad at all. He's got some of the best facial expressions I've ever seen in my life. Especially some of the stuff I saw recently where he picked up a water bottle and just started screaming at it. He's also terrific to watch. I'm happy he's not as hell-bent with Lana anymore. But no, that is a brilliant pick. Anyway, Raw again. And if it isn't one of my favourite wrestlers at the moment, Kevin Owens. He's the person I've used most on this game, and I'm still not tired of using him. I never will. That is amazing to put with Raw. Can't see him to go against Edge and Batista, that'd be brilliant. SmackDown, what you got? You've got just one man. Another member of the Social Outcasts. I can't believe he got in the top 10 Superstar of the Year when he wrestled like twice. But I think that was the joke, obviously. But no, I suppose it'll be quite fun to use, quite fun to beat. SmackDown, have someone similar. Someone who's completely irrelevant last year, apart from the 5-minute rivalry he had with Alberto Del Rio. But I like his finisher, I suppose. But that's about it. It doesn't really do much else. Anyway, he will join Raw. Who else is going to join SmackDown with Heath Slater? Again, someone who I very much enjoy watching and also very much enjoy using in this game. He has a brilliant finisher. I love his entrance, I'm sorry. I know some people don't like his new look, but I think it's a lot better than his old one. But that's a good addition to SmackDown. Raw, hopefully, will have something better. Never mind, eh? I mean, you were brilliant back in the day, Big Show. I love you. But, you know, the relationship's really run its course, hasn't it? I mean, don't retire. I don't think you should retire by any means. I think that's a bit mean for some of the fans, but you were my favourite when I was younger. Anyway, that didn't have to happen. SmackDown, yeah. SmackDown, yeah. And if it isn't the Bo joining SmackDown. I know it was a terrible impression, I'm sorry. It's the lesser Bray Wyatt. The Bray Wyatt without the beard joining SmackDown. That's an alright, I suppose. It keeps people happy. Anyway, anyone on Raw of interest? Yes. Yes, there is someone of interest joining Raw. And it's the only person on the roster I actually own a shirt of. Therefore, you know how I must feel about him. And he will definitely be starting as our WWE champion. And yes, I'll be using that belt. SmackDown, who you got? Now, I do like Santino Marella. He is funny, okay? I did find him funny even though his humour was a bit childish. That probably says a lot about me. Anyway, enough about him. Oh, for God's sake. Another one who I did find actually very humorous was Damien Mizdow. Don't know what the hell they're doing with him now. Just seems to not even be there. It's not even like he wrestles sometimes a year. He just doesn't show up. Like, I don't even know if he's still with the company. See, it's a brilliant pick for SmackDown because he's a great singles competitor. However, the way they booked him at the Rumble made me want to actually cry. Like, he got hit with something that a lot of people have been hit with before and sat out the Rumble, and then everyone booed him, so I don't know whether they're trying to make people boo him. Anyway, great addition for SmackDown. Anyone on Raw? Oh, hello. Oh, that would actually be brilliant because he can team with Edge. I mean, they're both, again, amazing singles competitors, but if he's not going for the world title, him and Edge can definitely team up. See a bit of their old magic. Anyway, who's going to be on SmackDown? Goldust. Who again was a hell of a lot better in the Attitude Era and after that than he is now, but he is still, you know, he's a very solid wrestler. Raw, come at me. No you don't, go away. Walk backwards, get changed and come back. Thank you. Why are you even in this? Why did I say you could be in this? Okay, right, I love Kane. He was one of my favourite wrestlers again growing up, but now, like, I mean, when he's put the mask back on, he's still pretty good, but anyway, SmackDown. Oh, local boy. Well, I say local, he doesn't live anywhere near me, but you know, he's in England. He's from England, from Newcastle. He's a Geordie. And he is a brilliant in-ring talent. Absolutely love him at the moment. Doesn't seem to be getting much screen time anymore. But hey, Raw, who you got? Oh, it's Curtis Axel. We're going from the... Wait, I swear I got everyone from the Social Outcasts already. Oh, I just completely forgot about you, Curtis. Much like everyone did before you joined the Social Outcasts. But hey, you know what? Join Raw. Get in with the fun. You can lose to a couple of people. It'll be good. Anyway, SmackDown. Someone big, please. Again, I can see him going around the United States business, but I can't really see him doing much apart from that. He is still pretty fun to watch, but he's not terrific, is he? Anyway, Raw, hit me with your best shot. Come on. I want someone big. I want someone huge. You know what? That's not bad, because I may split these two very up there. I may split them up near the beginning, because Kalisto is a brilliant in-ring performer. Sin Cara's alright, but Kalisto's just won the United States Championship, and therefore is good singles competitor. Oh, okay, speaking of the United States Championship, R-Truth, repping it on his way to the SmackDown ring. He will be joining the likes of Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose. Again, kind of become a bit of a joke now. But Raw, with the next pick. And that is a huge sigh of relief for anyone on SmackDown, because you know he's going to be a force in this game, as well as in my Universe Mode, even if I do not really like him in real life. Anyway, SmackDown's got to have something big to come back, come on.
If you smell what the Rock...
That couldn't have been any bigger, really. Brilliant pick for SmackDown. I think we've just found ourselves the World Heavyweight Champion. The world title for SmackDown, I think, will have to be claimed by The Rock. And let's just pretend he's always there, as opposed to shows up every now and again. Why not? Anyway, Raw. And if it isn't Mr. Bret Hart / Shawn Michaels / Mr. Ass, Dolph Ziggler. Again, I like him as an in-ring competitor. I don't... he's a bit meh at the moment. Even if he is on Raw every week. Well, he's going to be now. He's on Raw again. Hey. Oh, and SmackDown have just got themselves another tag team. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. I don't think you'll be drawing millions of dollars, but... You know what, again, fun to use. And I think they will be good in the tag team division. Anyway, thank you for watching my first ever episode of WWE 2K16 Universe Mode / Draft. If you liked it, hit a like. If you didn't, hit them comment sections, blow them up. And thanks for your time. You used it wisely.
Just see